Okay, high speed update. Um, I don't know what I kind of suggested I was going to do to this thing originally. I had thoughts of doing the playfield and just kind of spiffing it up a little bit. Decided to get stupid with it and kind of just did a little bit of everything. So since the last video, I've got the whole thing LED'd out. New plastics. Oh, where did I leave off? Yeah, new plastics, new LEDs on everything. Um, yeah, the new plastic sets come with the helicopters that were part of the original prototype design. I've got them on my machine down in the basement as well, so I've mounted these in a few different spots. The places I mounted them on my game in the basement was kind of problematic. They kept getting smacked in different ways. So I've just found a different way to mount them. I've got one up kind of inclined on the ramp there. This guy coming up off of a post down in here. Yeah. And this guy mounted on the plastic down here off of just a little spacer. So that was pretty much the playfield. I've done a few other odds and ends. I've got I put a Mylar patch down in the saucer area. It bridges in front and then goes around and has a little bit here. There was actually a decent amount of paint removed and it had a divot down in there, so I've got a Mylar on that to prevent that from happening again. New pop bumper caps. This is original. I did paint this, however. Sprayed some black on it. It does need to be replaced. It's still got the top two tabs on it, and then somebody had put a makeshift metal tab on the bottom. I'm not going to explain how they did it because they just kind of janked it together, but it works. In a perfect world, that would be new. I'm not going to mess with that. I put new decals on the spinners, all three spinners. Back glass, let's see, did a little bit of touch up. I still got a little bit of do on this blue on these two, but I did the black, got that touched up because you could see through. LEDs throughout the entire back of this thing. Polished this guy up and polished this guy up as well too. This is the channel on the glass. This is the channel for the speaker panel, so that's been cleaned and sprayed with some clear coat to gloss it up. I've got the topper on there. I had to make some brackets for it. What did I use for brackets? Oh man, I can't even recall what I used. But I modified some existing brackets. So that guy's on there. Looks good. I still got to polish the dome. But the big thing was the overhaul of the cabinet. So I went through and sanded the cabinet down, sprayed it black, and then did a decal set for the entire game. I've got my apprehensions about decals anyways, but after kind of getting the rhythm of it, I've done decals on arcade games, but never full body wrap kind of decals, just side art and control panel overlays and things like that. But once you figure it out, kind of a rhythm for it and making it all work, it actually went on really well, and it looks really nice. On my cabinet, I did paint, and I kind of changed the color scheme a little bit so the colors pop a little more, so the red's a little more ruby, lot brighter tone to the red, whereas this is the kind of factory spec red, kind of Lamborghini red that they were going for. And it looks really authentic. They turned out really well. They're a little dusty because I was using my Dremel on some lane guides stuff. Repainted the coin door, spiffed up the rejects a little bit. I think I already had a lock in it. I got rebuilt the ball shooter. Got a new shooter rod in there with the translucent red. I always like the translucent red ones. New rails. These just came in today. I'm going to have to email the supplier for these and see what can be done, because these are brand new. And there seems to be some ripple. I'm going to call them dents, but I mean, if you're being very generous, you'd call it ripple. But I mean, you can feel it. It's divoted. I pulled these out of the package. They still had the adhesive backing covering the whole thing, but it's here, stops right about there. So it's about this to this, and it's on this edge too. It basically feels like the same as when you press a back box too far down and forget to put a pad between. And then the same thing up here. It's got this ripple going on here and here. This was brand new. As I was peeling back the adhesive, this was getting exposed. That was getting exposed, and I'm just, they're $100 plus it cost me $50 to ship the stupid things. So I kind of want it to be right. So I'm going to email them and see what can be done about that. Not exactly thrilled to find that on a brand new product. The new cabinet buttons. I put a install 3-ball sticker in, new instruction card, new pricing card. I do need to put some new plastic on these because they got staining and things like that. I made these. I didn't put them in, I made them. So underneath there, really nasty ball hop when coming down the lane guides. So I make these. I've got them on a few of my games. I make them. I gotta clean up the edge there, but I make polycarbonate / Lexan lane guides that fit underneath the existing lane guide, and its sole job is just to extend this out. I've bought similar products from like Cliffy. Cliffy makes a really good product, but his is metal and it fills that gap and it looks original and everything. But over time it's just going to keep getting beat up. This polycarbonate, it's kind of impenetrable. Works really, really well. It's not going to break. Acrylic will get destroyed, but polycarbonate will not. And so I just trace the existing lane guide, and then I add a little bit of extra lip that fills that void. And I did have to modify underneath there. It has the original metal spacers. Well, I pulled the metal spacers off and installed some nylon spacers to get it further down, because you have to compensate for that little bit of material for the polycarbonate. But now this game's buttery smooth. I mean, it's shots coming down the return lane, and there's nothing there. It's go shoot. There's no jump. There's no weight. There's no doing that kind of mental gymnastics compensation where you have to compensate for the flipper hop. It's just not there. So it's just super smooth. So that was fun, getting all that put together, and now it just shoots like a rocket. So I'm pretty ecstatic about that. Yeah, this is another thing. I don't know what the deal is if I don't think they're bent, but they might have a slightly wider lip than stock, or I don't know. But now it catches, and it does not do that with the originals. So I think if I get a new set, I'm going to want to take them off. I'm going to put some sort of layer in there, maybe just some stacked layers of masking tape or something, just to kick the top edge of that back a little bit so it doesn't do that. I don't want to have to modify the game. It just shouldn't have that. There should be a better quality control on these or fabrication process. From there, I think the rest, I sanded the interior of the thing. I sprayed some blacks inside to really wrap around. The rest of the game was pretty nice. I left this. I forgot all about this. My little eject kick out with the welded end on it. That's fun. I forgot all about that. I've had multiple orders into Pinball Life for various things, or Marco as well. I could have ordered. Put some of these. What are they? These are Lexan. These Lexan protectors on the corners. Keep the playfield plastics nice. And is that pretty much it? LED displays. Those are amber LEDs from Wolfpack Tech that I had to put together. And I repainted the insert panel of this as well. So all the white that was all dingy and gross, I resprayed that. So there's been a lot of work on this thing. It's, oh yeah, the legs, I've got brand new legs on it. These are more like WPC style legs, but they set it off really nicely. They've got the extra gussets in them, these little ribs. Black with red protectors, and then I've got these black cabinet protectors behind that, and then I've got black feet, so it's kind of got a tri-tone thing going on. So it looks really sharp. The original lockdown bar, which the sometimes you got to buy a new lockdown bar, which are great, but they're not made as heartily as the originals. There's actually like Gorilla Glue that holds the new ones together, so that's obnoxious. So yeah, this sucker is pretty dang nice, and it shoots great. So if somebody can't have fun on this, then I don't know what's wrong with them. Oh yeah, I lit this saucer eject. I put a lamp socket underneath that and tied it to the escape. So whenever this lamp is lit, then it'll flash as well. Some tweaking on the switches for the ramp diverters. They're finicky. If they redesign that now, if they did this game now, they wouldn't do it that way. Obviously, they'd have like optos or something. But if they did use micro switches, they'd have something redundant or something like that. Because the way it is now, there is basically no tolerance whatsoever. If your micro or your leaf switch is off by a fraction of an inch, it totally throws off everything. The game gets confused. It tries diverting the ball to this one. It misses and goes to this one. If you get it too close and it's not stable, just hitting the ramp at all, the vibration can cause it to chatter and it starts acting weird. So it took some finessing, but eventually got it. Now it's rock solid. I only had one weird instance with it, and that was because I made a series of shots so quickly, it almost like it bugged out and it got confused. I mean, I looped to ramp, and then it dropped back down. I ramped again in like, half a second, and it had a fart out. But other than that, it's been rock solid. I repainted the backs of these two targets, or spinner targets, and then put some Mylar on them. They had some chipping on the back of this one, and then that one had like the whole middle blown out down to bare steel. They get beat up from the backside because it's a full loop. So, it's going to get clobbered because every time you shoot this loop, you're essentially hitting the back of that spinner and vice versa. This one was in good shape, this guy here, so I didn't fuss with him. Just every little square inch of this thing has some sort of tweak to it. But the goal is to, make it nice, make it look good, but just really make it reliable and play really nice. So with the electronics being rebuilt and the all the cosmetics and just the dialing in of the playfield, it's just everything that you want in a high speed. So I'm pretty proud of this one. It's come quite a long way, because this was what we started with here, and it's just a shame. It's just horrible. But thankfully that playfield was ready to go and got this whole thing started. So new credit button, new decal for the test switches. I dummied out the return wire for the lockout coils because you don't need those. I redid the connection on the ground here. A little bit of something everywhere. I'm sure there's more, but it's just a kind of an exercise in how dumb a guy can get going through these things. There's more I could be doing to it. I think maybe the target faces would be nice to redo. They've got some of that scarring in the middle with that ground in dirt that you're just not going to get off. Those could be redone. Get a new traffic light, maybe one of the new ramps. The one I have in the basement is a red translucent ramp that I got off, I forget the guy's name on Pinside that does them, but Really nice product, so I've got that in mind. Those new ones are designed in a way that you don't need this cover, and that's been very true for me. It works great. It's never flown off. Whereas this one, I can see it visibly hit this. So the way it's designed, it smacks this guy. But I had this from that original project, and I never needed it, so I put it to use here. Yeah, these stacked plastics can get bent. I do not like fussing with these things, redoing them, putting them together. Kind of a pain in the butt. Riveting these domes on, it's a pain in the butt. I could have just gone to little machine screws and backing nuts and called it a day, but I wanted it to look a little cleaner, so I did the rivets. Kind of tired of that. It's a nice machine, so I'm pretty happy with this one. So I think after a few little minor touches, I'm gonna just have to put this one away. Otherwise it's just gonna get stupid. So yeah, thanks for watching.